Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, Taco and MNGA.
Yes, what's going on, everyone? I appreciate you joining me in the chat room right now. I hope you can hear me live and direct. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. I see O'Shea. Shout out to my good friend O'Shea Duke Jackson in the building right now. Shout out to Bad Scientists, all the people who were in here earlier. Somebody hooked me. Yeah, what's going on, O'Shea? Appreciate you, bro, for the donation. Some of that Polish, I don't know what the name of their currency is, but I appreciate that. Shout out to him making a donation. I know I'm coming in a little bit, 30 minutes late, so we're going to have some people strolling in here. I appreciate you for joining me. The big news on the market today was that Yeco acquisition of a worthless stone. If you can believe this. This worthless Chinese company, and I don't want to say worthless because they had a little business going on there, but it was a losing operation for the most part, a money-losing operation, and they decided to say, fuck it, we're getting out of the construction business. What's going on, Corey Kwan, Anthony Smith, Candace Thomas, Callie Robb, what's up? Been a long time. They're getting out of the construction business and going fully into, I don't know what they are now. Now that they own this stupid rock that, again, produces nothing. And by the way, they've decided to get out of there. I mean, in order to finance this acquisition, they gave a private equity stake, and they'll have to sell off the rest of the business. I mean, there's no other way. So they're no longer a construction company. They're no longer a company that has a stake in one of the fastest growing economies in the world, in a great industry, right? Construction is I mean, that's cash intensive. It's a cash intensive business. And you had that stake, and they've given it all up for a stupid rock. And we're going to learn a little bit more about that rock, the Millennium Sapphire. So before I go into my rant, and we'll also discuss the market as a whole. The market today was down slightly, brought down by IBM. But IBM, by the way, took down the S&P by like 50 points on its own with IBM. And by the way, IBM was down for just the stupidest of reasons. I'll show you that. I mean, they barely missed their number. But that's how uppity when it comes to some of these earnings numbers that the wealthy can get, and how they'll destroy your company if you don't make it, even if it's just by a couple $1 million. I'm going to show you that today, ladies and gentlemen. Before that, let's go ahead and learn a little bit more about this sapphire stone. I mean, I can't believe people are so foolish. Yes, got to about 1,000% today. And shout out to Black Box Stocks, man. Black Box was all over it. I had my eye somewhere else. I'm mad because if you can see here, let me show it to you. Black Box was oh nope, that's P-Tie. That's from the other day. My bad. Where's the Black Box for? Let me see. Do I have it? Did I have it? Yes, I do. For Yeco. Boom. All right. This is for Yeco. Black Box called it at 8:32. The alert went out. Unusual. It was an unusual volume alert. unusual buying activity alert. It went out at 8:32 this morning pre-market, and it just took off, man. It just took off. 405% from, and that's not even from the high. That's basically when the pick was taken, where we were. But it got a lot higher than that. It got a lot higher than that. And shout out to the guys who were on Black Box. I guess that's all you really need is $1,000 in Black Box stocks for a month. Again, go to my link there, blackboxtrader.org. But with that being said, you know, we can look at the 5-minute chart. I mean, it was a monster. It was a monster. You know, and a decent moving average kept you into the trade, you know. Just a monster pick. Just a monster pick for the day. No one could see it coming besides these algorithm-based trading systems, and that's why you got to be a part of that. But let's learn a little bit more about this stupid stone and how this man just basically finessed anyone who was a Yeco investor. And by the way, I feel sorry for the people who are in this because you might get another day out of it, maybe. But I have a feeling you got a big drop coming tomorrow. But I do see here after hours you're up higher. So I do feel sorry for the shorts. But I don't know if you're going to hold that 14 because at the end of the day, they got a worthless stone. They got a pretty worthless stone at the end of the day. Let's learn a little bit more about this stone with this quick video.
North America's largest cruise ship, the Sapphire Princess, is launched in Seattle. A fantastic surprise awaits the specially invited passengers on board for this maiden voyage. The story starts behind the scenes at the Seattle docks prior to the christening and launching of the great vessel. The secret contents of a locked box are quietly ushered aboard the ship by a small security team. The box contains a priceless treasure which is being unveiled for the first time. Dozens of news teams are on hand to cover the presentation of the Millennium Sapphire, the largest blue sapphire in the world.
The sapphire was discovered in Madagascar, Africa in 1995. It's probably the most documented gemstone in the world, even surpassing probably the Hope Diamond at this point. And that's because of the incredible history behind her. She actually, when she was exported from Madagascar, the opposition claimed that she was a national treasure and said she never should have been exported. And so they took the president of Madagascar to task and they impeached him and removed him from power over the sapphire. So it's quite a special stone. I've been cutting blue sapphires for, you know, over 2 decades now. When I actually saw the sapphire, it took my breath away. She's been estimated, even before she was carved, at between $90 to $500 million. So she's priceless. We wanted to do something that would lend the proper dignity to the sapphire. It's the largest in the world. And so we decided to make it a tribute to humanity over the last 5,000 years. The people that significantly changed the world that we live in. Great inventors to poets, Albert Einstein, Leonardo, and his proportions of the body. It took about 3 years to conceptualize and to carve the sapphire. We picked Alessio Boschi from Milan, Italy. And we ended up bringing him to Hong Kong, and that's where we went through the whole process of selecting the carvers. We actually retrained them, and we had 3 carvers working on the renderings, you know, one at a time. In fact, what we did is we developed lapis prototypes that our carvers would perfect, and sometimes they would have to carve these 10 or 20 times before we would be satisfied with the product. And you can see William Shakespeare here, the great playwright, and then here he is on the sapphire. Very few people have actually seen the Millennium Sapphire. We rarely bring her out. It's always been quite a process trying to protect the sapphire. We've always kept it in a secret location. We've really never talked about what we're doing or where it is. And once it was carved, of course, it's always been under maximum security and in lock boxes running, transported by high security. We actually have one of the former people from the Secret Service that guarded the president who organizes all of our security for the Millennium Sapphire. She is a work of art par excellence. She is a significant object d'art. The material, basically our canvas for this piece of art, is the largest blue sapphire in the world. So need I say more?
So that's that ridiculous shit right there. So that was made in 2004. You know, they presented the guy as an expert, but he actually owned 14 years and lost quite a bit of value there. But with that being said, again, Yeco has given up its entire business to acquire that stone. And this is, again, sapphire. This is not gold. This is not made of diamond, right? It's not a diamond. It is a sapphire gem. And sapphire is not a great conductor of electricity. In fact, they only use sapphire in very, very low electric circuits. Very, very low. In fact, sapphires aren't as rare as people make them out to be. Sapphires are mined in Cambodia, China, Colombia, India, Kenya, Laos, Madagascar, Malawi, Nepal, Nigeria, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Tajikistan, Tanzania, Thailand, the United States, and Vietnam. I'm saying all this because for those of you guys who got the money and you got the, ability, Yeco is a great short over the next couple days. I think it's an incredible shorting opportunity. Those of you guys who are paper trading, I think this is going to be a great bet for you to, to trade on, to practice on, to short the top on this one. And that's why I'm making this video, because I think 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now, this is going to be not only back significantly in the single digits, but it's going to start a new trend to where it eventually gets delisted and onto the OTC markets. All right. Don't know what it's got on the option side. I don't know what the volume is there. Obviously, if you get in early or get in now with very light volume, the pricing is probably going to be ridiculous. But there's a risk involved in anything. There's a risk involved in anything. Well, right now it's after hours. I'm seeing after hours price of $14.34. So we got shorts already getting squeezed to death. And that's why when these stocks pop like this, you always want to, wait one more day. You always want to wait one more day because guys know you're going to short, right? And they're going to want to squeeze the shit out of you to get you to buy back those shares at a higher price. But I don't believe that those 14, those 15, those $16, I don't know where it's going to end up going as a high tomorrow, are going to hold for a long period of time. No shares were on trade zero, all stocks to trade. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow when we guys really start moving in and out of this thing. All right? Because as you can see per the chart, you had a lot of guys holding, looking for higher prices. Overall, as I said, the market was sideways today. You had some decent earnings numbers, particularly out of the airline stocks. The airlines today really coming together. We saw United doing really well. United Continental, basically owned by the same company, United Continental Holdings, really doing good here. You got to as high as it's actually 6.5% settled by for 5.9 today, but really following up on what happened a couple days ago with Delta delivering solid earnings last last week. So shout out to the airlines getting it together, showing profitability here for their shareholders and doing the right thing right now. Here you have UAL now back above the 50 RSI. Again, the airlines had been suffering just along with everybody else. But today they rally. You saw American Airlines. You saw American Airlines. Here's AAL. That they made a nice little push today based on that other number. Although American didn't hold their gains. Southwest. We saw Southwest move today. Again, not holding because, again, it wasn't the topic of the move. But, we know that when a sector gets hot, corresponding plays will move as well. So look at the airlines as a possible interesting opportunity for you to be able to buy some puts on here, because I don't know if this is going to hold long term. Again, they had been selling off just like the market. So if the market continues to do so, although these were very good numbers for this sector, it could continue to sell off along with the entire market as a whole. All right. I mentioned earlier about IBM. Today was the worst day for IBM, they mentioned, in over 7 years, something like that. IBM losing almost as much as 10% of its value before settling at 7.6%. They were on track. Oh, no, excuse me. They were on the track for the worst day in 6 months. Worst day in 6 months. After revenue at the tech giant fell short of Wall Street's estimates. This is how crazy. Okay, Wall Street estimated $19 billion. The company reported 18.76. I mean, this is how greedy these motherfuckers can be. But I understand that's quite a lot of money, right? A 300+ million, but still, for a company as big as IBM, right? For a company as big as IBM, we're talking a $130 billion plus company. To miss by 300 million, is it really that bad to lose more in value today than the difference between what was estimated as a potential revenue and what they delivered? It's kind of ridiculous to me. But again, congrats to the put buyers on IBM. Congrats to guys who bought the puts today into the trade this morning. Huge win for them. Alcoa, another very liquid option. Alcoa lost $41 million or 22 cents a share in the quarter. The company announced, because, in America, nobody's allowed to lose. I'm so pessimistic. I know I am, but nobody's allowed to lose. So, because they lost 22 cents a share, they said, what, we're going to give you a $200 million share buyback program that will start this quarter. We are pleased to announce a program to return cash to the stockholders. Again, because in America, you're not allowed to lose. You're not allowed to lose, folks. We do not have a free market economy. You're not allowed to lose. If you lose money, the company's going to figure a way to give it back to you because you're not allowed to. All right? Shout out to everybody in the chat room. I know I just missed somebody's call. Give me a call back. If anybody's got some pennies to talk about, let me know. We'll talk about them. We've been pretty excited about TREP. I don't know what's going on with that. A little bit sideways move. But look, I understand things take time to develop. Like to see some more volume develop here. So you TREP guys, let me know what's going on with that. 646. What's going on, Ken?
Please. How are you this evening? How's it going? It's been a great time in the market.
Yes, absolutely.
Take a look at these two. Tom, Nancy, Paul. A lot of insider buying on September 24th. Titan Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, Titan is interesting. It's been a runner before. We've seen Titan do some things in the past. So I remember the ticker very well. It's been really beaten up over the last couple months. Obviously, since the summer, things have really gone bad for them since May or June or so. The stock's lost well over 50%. Oh, actually, almost 70% of its value. What's the what's the investment thesis here? What are you looking up for us to see here in the next couple of days in Titan?
I honestly don't. I found the stock on FinViz today, and like the chart and the insider buying, and that's it. I don't know what the catalyst is there. I really don't.
No problem. Yeah, we'll follow. I mean,
sometimes
it's bottomed out. It's bottomed out for the last, what is that? Almost 2.5 weeks there. So it's bottomed out, looking for a floor. Let me look at the weekly. Yeah, so it's got a floor here over the last 3-4 weeks there. So, if you're looking at a weekly chart, I guess.
It did 2.5 million shares in after hours too.
Yeah.
A lot of volume. Many times the average volume today. Interesting.
Yeah, so something's up with that, but just be aware it has been a loser for a long time here.
Right, exactly. And the other biotech is Sam Larry Sam. We spoke about that the other night. The catalyst is Monday, 8 a.m., and we're going to reveal results from their breast cancer stuff. It hit a high of 230 earlier in the day on the volume. It was eight times normal volume.
Yeah, this is an interesting play, and you bringing up Titan, and then we looking at SLS sets this up really beautifully, because we just kind of look at those charts where, you find some kind of floor to sit on, and then people start acquiring shares, and sure enough here, as time passes by, you're looking at a stock that, is trading at some higher values, and you look at CLS or on this weekly chart, you can see how, things just really kind of start to bubble up for the company in late August, mid-August, and sure enough now it's had a really powerful week. So look through the news to see what that is moving the stock here. But SLS looks very interesting over at least the past couple weeks.
Cool, thank you. Just bringing up the Pred, and there's a sister to that, BFNH. I don't know if I mentioned that one to you. Boy, Frank, Nancy, Harry. Small share structure, something about a spinoff. Nice chart on the BFNA, Brett Boy, Frank, Nancy, Harry. I mean, the volume on both Pred and BFNH is not great, but I have a feeling there's going to be some pretty big news coming in very soon, especially on both. I know what the catalyst we really need on the Pred is a Form 10. I know that no matter what news comes out, it's not going to make a difference. You got to get a Form 10 for a volume to come into those stocks, but charts look good.
Yeah, both of those charts look really nice. I'd probably play the Pred more just because I don't see myself sitting out there like on the other one, BFNH, right? Yeah,
it's Boy, Frank, Nancy, Harry.
But yeah, I mean, just as you said, volume has been an issue with both stocks. And again, I mentioned that yesterday. That's why I didn't get too excited on that second run. In fact, I don't know if Bats is still in the chat room. He had asked me several weeks ago on a great biotech to play, and I didn't bring up Pred because I was just really, skeptical on the fact that it was moving so aggressively, but then the volume was very, was very, very weak. But hopefully, like you said, we get that news to drop. We get some more, information on those companies' books, and we get more people to get interested in these plays.
Right. Exactly. I mean, where the money's been at has been the cannabis, the marijuana. Those did sell off today, which was expected on the Canadian legalization news today. One that's been really good has been the KG. That's been just an amazing winner, and the volume on that stock is incredible. 32 million today. Yeah,
still delivering on KG. We brought it up on Monday. Here enough now, you're up well over another 18% today. So, I mean, we brought it up on Monday. Now, sure enough, here we have, and we brought it up, I think, on Friday's show as well. So, I mean, you're up big on KG. If you had invested it just watching the show, you're up well over 30% since Friday. So, KG, look, things are hot. It's running. I take your profits at these levels. I mean, what do you suggest, Ken? Do you suggest guys holding, or would you take profits here? Looking at the chart,
take profits.
Right, I'm running out the door at these levels. Absolutely.
Running out the door. I've learned.
Yeah,
I've learned. It was one of Tim Sykes' stocks as well, the KG and the PURA. He was mentioned on his nightly video tonight too.
Yeah.
You gotta, take it on the way up, 20-30%. Take a piece off at least.
Absolutely.
Just you really reduce your risk of this kind of stuff. They can take the bid. All of a sudden the bid's taken out from under you, and real quick.
Oh, absolutely. And then next thing you know, your tweets are on bag holder quotes.
Yes. Your thoughts on the market, just in general. I put my 401k into bonds about a week ago. I'm really feeling. I know we had a 500-point rally yesterday, but today we're down again. Interest rates are inching up 3.21 in the 10-year. I don't know. It just feels it's a weird time right now.
Yeah, I still think we're negative, man. I still think we're very negative. We had that 500-point rally, but if you noticed on that rally, Apple didn't move. Apple didn't move on that 500-point day. I mean, Apple was pretty much sideways that day. If you go back to the chart, Apple virtually did nothing that day. We had Netflix. They delivered, but basically gave all their earnings back today. So.
Right.
So I'm still very negative across the board on the markets. I know that time is coming. Again, it might not be now, but I still don't think we get back to, March or April kind of type of runs where we're making, 5, 6, 7% a day across the markets. I just don't see that anymore. I see a slower market where you have a lot of companies that, where the fundamentals aren't strong. Yeah, they're very weak. And that's why I'm really suggesting guys on these IWM where it bounced on the other day on that market rally. I think it's another net short for you to open up. And you don't have to go big. You can go small and see whether or not my thesis is right. But again, I think you target those weak, mid-cap, small-cap companies that are going to lose big time if all this starts falling apart.
And the bank sector's weak. Most world markets like China and everyone else are down. Huge, very unusual that we're up versus. I mean, I know Trump's policies, but it's just you're playing with fire here. That's I think. I don't know.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at the XLF chart, you look at a sector wide that wasn't doing so well, in 2018 to begin with. So I think you're vulnerable there, and I think the market is already seeing it as a vulnerable sector, and I think you're a fool if you think we're going to be retesting all-time highs on the financials, just because, again, as you said, we're seeing some stress on some of these companies, and we are seeing interest rates increasing. And I think some of these banks that are pretty expensive, right? I mean, if we look at Bank of America, we look at J.P. Morgan, we look at some of these that are still not too far from their all-time highs, that are still, not expensive, but expensive for those companies. So they can lose another 10, 20%. I don't see why not.
Yep. It's interesting. I'd rather play it safe right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Have a wonderful evening, Sal. Thank you for everything, as always.
Appreciate it, Ken. Thanks for the call. Yeah, I mean, I like what Ken is doing, moving to the safe money. And, we're still looking at gold. I'm still following gold right now. Gold's still significantly below some multi-year, averages for that. So you still got some industries that, if you want to move your money in, you might be a little early on it, but I think the money will slowly come into that direction. Once again, some things just still get proven out because things have been so good. People have been so used to buying the dip. It's going to take a lot more of those, red 500, 200, 300 days where guys just lose their ass for them to finally come around and say, okay, maybe the party's over. All right. Absolutely. What Callie Robb said, buy the hype, sell the news. Buy the hype, sell the news. All right. What's going on, Three Hooks? The next run should be when Canada clears CBD. Yeah. If you're in some of these Canadian weed plays, stay on him. Stay on him. Take some profits as you go up, but, this very well could continue to climb. All right. I know some did cool down, though. What's going on, Chris Israel? All right. And thank you for bringing up MJ. Who brought that up? Three Hooks. We talked about that on Monday, how MJ was such a big loser for a long time. All of a sudden turning around here from 25 to as high as 40, almost $44 a share. almost 100% near. Well, actually not 100%, but 65% gains there. All right, in a span of about 2 months. Not bad. On MJ was that ticker. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, put your tickers in the chat. I'm going to get off my high horse here. Bring your tickers. Bring what you are looking at. Shout out to Ken for the call. Shout out to Ken for your call. Another idea that I looked at. I love this ticker. Taco, which is Del Taco restaurants. I've never been to Del Taco restaurants. I've always wanted to go. Are they based? I think they might be California or so. But nice pop on Del Taco. Nice pop on Del Taco, where they delivered solid earnings for them. This has been, again, a stock that had been a big loser, but looks like they had a really, decent. Oh, they actually had. Hold on. Was that a? Thought they had a decent day. Hold on 1 second. Sync was low. No, they had a bad day. Excuse me. They had a bad day before the show. I'm looking at possible tickers. What happened? Revenue totaled 117 up from. Oh, yeah. So they actually put out a good number, but the market still shitted on them. They actually had a pretty good number. They put up 117, up from 111 million from last year. Unfortunately, though, the market was looking for 120 million on Del Taco, so they miss and get to a low of almost 10% today before settling at just under 7.5% loss. So definitely that candlestick. I don't know if it's the wrong candlestick or what. Now maybe you guys are seeing it on your end, but I'm getting a green candlestick. So wrong. It's not fitting the day that Taco held today. Not sure what all that's about. All right. Yes, get those likes up, man. Get those likes up for me, guys. I appreciate you. Get those likes up for me. MNGA. It's so funny. We bring this up on Monday, and then today it has a nearly 15% day. I talked about how the guy got incinerated on the job. And sure enough, today the stock goes nearly 15%. Truly a penny stock. I don't know what's going on. This stock, I swear it's been a penny for a while now. But, okay, October, okay, were we up? Yeah, it's been under $1 for a while. When was the last time it closed above $1? That was June. So, yeah, it's been not 6 months yet. Not 6 months yet. But usually when you get to that 6 months underneath, you've been under $1, you start to get that NASDAQ warning of a possible delist risk. And then that's where you start to see some talk of a reverse split, or the company decides to delist. And that could be very dangerous because you can, lose a lot of possible volume out of the stock, right? And some people just don't want to deal with an OTC stock. And some people aren't allowed to. For example, some investment banks aren't allowed or have guidance and rules from their investors or the portfolio itself not to trade in any over-the-counter stocks. You think MNGA will pop tomorrow? News out on MNGA as well. Okay, we'll be looking forward to it. Again, today the big winner on the small cap side today was Yeco. I explained the reasons earlier. MJNE up 60%. Let me know why. I see here volume was decent today, but definitely not a very popular stock, as you can see. Not a very popular stock, very low volume stock. I mean, you can even see by the candlesticks here, you don't get too much movement for the most part on days where it doesn't have very much volume. Probably has a very low flow based on, again, how we can see the volume patterns looking like. Big volume, big moves. MJNE is that ticker. Appreciate you, Alan. For those of you guys who aren't subscribed, subscribe to my Twitter at Got Penny Stocks. That's Got Penny Stocks. Look forward to an interview tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon, I will post an interview with this gentleman. And let me get his name again. And he's got some great DD on an OTC stock. Very similar to Rich Million. Another guy on OTC, on the OTC market game, who's really on his shit. He goes by shares to trade. Shares to trade, not in the number, so that's shares like, stock shares. TO trade. And I'll post that up tomorrow. And his ticker he's going to be talking about in that video is a very little known ticker called CBBT. CBBT. And I guess he's got some data that he wants to, or due diligence rather, I'd rather say, he wants to put out there in regards to the company, and says there are going to be some big moves possibly happening in the future. This is not a paid interview. He didn't pay me any money. I'm not paying him any money. I didn't get any shares for this or anything like that. So just some information we want to put out there. And, of course, I always am interested in hearing from traders who've got some DD that they want to put out there. All right, so let me know. Email me, and we'll set up an interview. And just like Rich Million, we can help you increase your following and also put in some volume in whatever the stock it is you're trading, so people can be able to look that stock up and learn a little bit more about it. All right? So hit me up. INSG in Seago been running lately. I don't know too much about the stock. Who brought it up? Shirley Lewis. Let me know what's going on there. You guys know my number, 305-600-2896. You can call me with the info. All right. Cruz Cuts, what's up, man? MLHC, let's take a look at it. MLHC, OTC, 0012. It's been a minute since we've seen a double run hard. The last real great, great runner from the doubles was POTN. Well, or maybe Fuzz, because I know Fuzz too was one of those that kind of, right? No, Fuzz was it was in the pennies. It was in the pennies, but yeah, it's been a while since we've seen a good 00 run hard, man. I'd love to see a 00 run hard. I'd love to see a 00 run hard. Look, 00 to 2 cents, that's a lot of money. 0010, 0012, right? To just 2 cents, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of profit. That's a lot of profit. Calculate that gain. All right? What's that percentage gain? I used to have that memorized, but I got to look it up now. Let me see that. 0012 to 2 cents. Yeah, that's 1,500%. To be exact, that's 1,566% on your money. That's 1,566% on your money. 0012 to just 2 cents. That's why, a lot of promoters, forget going to $1. Just a 0010 to a penny, bro. You make your investors that kind of money, they'll love you forever. They'll love you forever. You don't have to. I see some guys out here trying to promote selling the whole, we're going to $1, blah, blah. You don't need to do that. A lot of guys would love to turn, $800 into a couple grand. They'll love you forever. All right, let's keep it going. NVCN. NVCN, we're back in the NASDAQ now. NVCN, I know it's healthcare. All right, healthcare play, but this has been pretty quiet. It's been pretty quiet. Don't know what else is going on here. All the Chinese runners are on fire. Yeah, you got you got a lot of Chinese bullshit that's on fire. With Yeco, which again, I'm telling you right now, that's going to be the short of the next 60 days, man. That's going to be like the greatest short, besides Theramos. But that's probably the short of 2018 right there. Yeco. I'm telling you, by December, that's going to be below. I'd say below $2 by the end of December. I would be very surprised if Yeco is above $2 by the end of December. I'll be very surprised. Based on that press release today. I'd be very, very surprised. DPWW, $500 blunts. DPWW, isn't that the DPWW? This is the marijuana. Yeah, the $500 blunt company. Yeah, this is the guy. He's got a rich dad. His dad's loaded, and he helped his son create this like high-end blunt, this high-end weed, company. Where yes, you got $500 blunts. Because the marijuana they grow it's not even like farm raised. It's literally by hand in a pot, and it is just grown differently, High-end lighting, high-end AC system. Supposedly it improves the flavor and all that other bullshit. Do your research on it. There's a video out there. I think I showed it on an episode one time. Okay. Lamprey Milt, what's up? Still edge to make money on those pot stocks. Yeah, I mean there's a lot of money to be made on the pot stocks, man. CDTI, China Construction. What's the name of that Chinese movie? It's not a Chinese movie, but it's an American movie based on Chinese stocks back in the 2012 to 2015, China rage that happened a couple of years ago. That was another, great opportunity to make a lot of money. 2012. I had nowhere near the capital at the time, but 2012 was a great year to short Chinese companies. If you watch that particular documentary, The China Hustle. Thank you, George M. China Hustle is a great movie. Watch that movie. If you love finance in general, China Hustle is a very, very interesting movie to watch. Very interesting movie to watch. And it's one of those movies you wish you can go back in time and just short your ass off. 414, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Sal. How's it going?
Going good. Who am I speaking with?
It's Callie, man.
Oh, Callie, what's going on, man? What you got for us?
Oh, man. I put, what was that, MNGA?
Okay.
Yeah, I jumped in that today. Went sideways on me.
Okay. That happens. MNGA, right? Magna Gas?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in that right now, so.
Not a bad. Now, okay, what's your theory here? What's going to happen here in the next couple of days that makes sense for you to go into this?
Well, what I've been testing is I've been using it's a stock ticker. It's an app everyone blogs on, and it seems like when news comes out, I'm not saying every stock does it, but when good news comes out, it seems like that's when it sells off.
Okay.
And it's like ass backwards how things go. You would expect it to go up with good news, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But I see a lot of times stocks go down at the opening with good news. They might spike a little bit, but for the most part, they just consolidate or just go down. And someone commented saying that stocks go up before news come out. It's just a lot of rumor and a lot of hype, I guess.
Absolutely. I mean, management, I mean, they're people too, and they want to get rich. They've got family, they've got friends. They want them to get rich. And sometimes, you know, word gets out, and you'll start to see movement around companies that, you know, could be delivering, you know, game-changing news for investors, and then you'll start seeing them creeping up towards a possible announcement or sometimes for no reason, and then you just suspect a possible announcement could be coming around the pike. But I mean, from the way you explained it, I don't see a very powerful theory that gets me excited about. I mean, MNGA here. How much you got at stake here? I don't see something to get excited about here.
Well, I saw it. It was up about 15-20% this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I think it got up to about 22%, and that's pretty much where it stayed all day. It dropped a little bit, but it's doing pretty good after hours. So we'll see. Hopefully, in the next 3 days, maybe it can pop. Because I was just in Pura, Pura, last week when it was like 6 cents, and I got out of it because it was just going sideways.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I get out, I think 3 days later, now I think it went up to 20-some cent or 30 cents, something like that.
Mm. Okay.
So, but one more thing before I forget. I just saw this guy on YouTube. He's with Trading Warrior. I think his name is Ross or something.
Okay.
This guy turns, I don't know if it's real or not. It looks legit from what he showed on YouTube, but this guy turned a little over $500 into over $300,000 within the year.
Let me tell you about Ross Warrior Trading, and I had quite a few guys tell me that he's full of shit, and that you know, look, these guys who are selling programs, I mean, these expensive programs, these guys have the ability to create these programs that they just get programmers out of India and China to create these programs that make them look like they're trading real money. And they can post up whatever it is. They can create kind of these demo accounts that make them look like they're making a lot of money. I mean, you can do all this on Fiverr. There are literally guys you can hire to create these programs for you. So please don't be fooled by a lot of these guys who are showing you these huge profits and whatnot. And then on the back end, they're telling you to buy something from them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And these are expensive training. I mean, we're not talking like $40. I mean, these are $1,000, $20,000. You know what I mean? They're people spending everything they have to learn from someone they think is making a lot of money, and they don't even realize most of their money is coming from just, you know, these things that they're selling them, the dreams that they're selling them. So I've had guys go over there and tell me that, man, Ross Cameron is full of shit. You know, that he's full of shit. That and think of it, man. Have you seen any successful students come out and say, "Hey, I learned so much from this guy"? But I haven't seen it. I've been on YouTube for a long time. I have yet to see a guy who came to me and said, "Hey, Sal, I learned so much from Ross Cameron. I've just been, I quit my job. I haven't seen none of that shit. I haven't seen shit, man. You know, and don't show me a brother, you know, somebody who come from money. Show me somebody who doesn't come from money, who got your training, and then all of a sudden now he's making some. Then I'll believe you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then I'll believe. But I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. So I kind of figured it was just a carrot dangling in your face. You know.
Yeah. All right, bro. Appreciate the call, man.
Okay, Sal. Take care, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Cali Rob said that wasn't him. Oh, shit. Who was I talking to? I thought it was talking to Cali Rob. All right. He said Ross sucks donkey dick. Oh, shit. Ross sucks donkey dick. All right. Look, man. That's why those guys, you really can't, you know, you just can't, you just got to do your own thing, man. You just can't really be on any kind of guru or anything like that. You can have your friends and whatnot, but You know, at the end of the day, somebody who's taking money from you to learn, man, that after a while, it'll get under your skin, man. It'll get under your skin when you're not getting the same performance, when you're not, you know, you don't see your account growing and whatnot. Of course, things take time, but these guys suck it out of you. They suck it out of you, and they leave you angry. They leave you frustrated. And to some guys, unfortunately, they lead them to just to quit trading altogether. You know, a lot of guys. You know, for every guru, there are thousands of students who, you know, we're like, fuck it, man. Trading is a scam. You know. And because most of us are men, a lot of guys aren't going to be honest about the fact that they took a L. They'll just disappear. It's like, man, fuck it. Just disappear. You don't even know, man, this guy started with 10,000, 20,000. It's all gone. You know. Guess he was following some guy's advice or paying a monthly fee that was cutting into that, right? Cutting into that money that he had saved up for God knows how long. You know. Yeah, absolutely. That's true too. That's true too, Cali Rob. You know, it comes with the territory. Are you guys still on Mir Barak? Does anybody here still fuck with Mir Barak? You know? SHLD, yeah, they just recently, we talked about that the other day. And look, and I mentioned, like, you know, bankruptcy, at the end of the day, bankruptcy can still move your stock, man. Isn't it crazy? I told you bankruptcy can still move, man. So you're going to get the cue here sooner than later. But look at the move today. Look at that move today in SHLD. Shout out to the guys who were on that, man. Shout out to the guys who were on that. Let me give them let me give you a cheer on that one, man. Let me see here. Can I give them? I'll give you a cheer on that. Shout out to the guys on that. Matter of fact, let me give them the monster kill. Oh, that's pretty good. 57%. Monster kill. 57%, that's good. That's a good move. Cali Rob, you said you use TradeNet, but you don't mess with their chat room. Understandable. Mir Barak, yeah, that boy's a gangster. You know, Mir Barak though, I'll give it to him, man. If his thing is real, right? I'm gonna say that if his platform is real, he's good at what he does, man. That guy's. If you want to use the word sniper in trading appropriately, I would put that right on Mir Barak's head because that's exactly what he is. He is a sniper to perfection, man. I watched a couple of his videos a while back, and this guy, he's good. He's good. He uses huge size, though. I mean, his size is ridiculous. I would never take some of his positions in terms of size, but he's good at what he does. All right. And again, that's me saying that based on, you know, me believing that if his trading platform and what he's doing is for real and it's real money. GLG, China Commercial Credit. China Commercial Credit. Don't know much about the company. A lot of Chinese companies out there with a whole bunch of sketchy books. This is definitely a small cap. $14 million market cap here, 62-cent stock. Does trade on the NASDAQ. And a lot of these Chinese companies, they all, you know, traded at one time much, much higher prices. All right, but as you can see here, you know, they all just eventually just turd on themselves. This is a monster turd, dude. That is a monster turd. You know. Good Lord. CFD any size you want. Yeah, I know DNF Bob. CFD it means it's just basically, it's not the actual stock, right? It's kind of like something of the stock. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I know CFD, if you buy a CFD, you're not necessarily buying the stock itself. You're buying like a certificate of I don't know. It's pretty complicated to explain. Well, not really, but contract for difference, right? It's just you're not buying the actual thing. It's a contract for difference, as you said. Mm-hmm. Lamprey Mill, you said what makes it a turd? Well, what makes it a turd for me is not what it's doing lately. I'm not saying it can't run, another 30, 15%. I'm just looking at what it's done historically. I'm looking at the historical chart, right, on that weekly or monthly chart, and it's a turd. I mean, it's a piece of shit. But I'm not saying it can't, it can't meet your needs, right? I'm not saying it can't go to $1 or $2. Who knows? I don't predict the future. I'm just looking at this historical chart on this monthly time frame, and it looks like a piece of shit. Looks like a piece of shit. And I had the sound effect of a guy farting, but I can't find it. And a guy taking a big dump. I had a sound effect of a guy taking a shit, but I can't find it. Lamprey said it's low float. Okay. Your bag holding on it. Oh, it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Callie Rive said, yeah, your orders don't hit their ticker tape. Yeah, right. That's basically what I'm trying to say, because you're not actually buying the actual stock. As the gentleman said, contract for difference. So, you can buy 20,000 of that, and I can pull up the buy and sell, and it's not going to show up there because it's something completely different. Whatever happens to Pred, I don't know. I mean, we're trying to figure it out. We need some more insight on the financials. We need some more insight on the development status of Pred and whatever it is they're making. We just need more. So you hit up the Iceman and let him know what the hell is going on with Pred. He was the one that put me on game regarding Pred. I call him the Iceman. I can't even remember what his real name is. But he's promoter extraordinaire from the 1970s. And he hit me up. Oh, man, I like what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. You got to come in on this Pred with me, blah, blah, blah. And we took Pred to the next level. But, since then, people being tight-lipped. So I'm like, man, I can't fuck with y'all if y'all going to be like that. Appreciate you, DNF Bob. BHC. Bosch Health Companies. Don't know too much about that. Bosch Health Companies got a decent chart. Not a cheap stock. Definitely not a penny stock. It's got a $9 billion valuation. So you're going to have to let me know about that one. TTNP, yeah, we brought it up. Ken brought it up. TTNP is an interesting one. When Ken talks, I listen. When Ken talks, I listen. Ken is one of those guys, when he calls up and brings up a ticker, I make sure I put some notes down, because that guy's a killer, man. That guy's a killer. I don't know if you've paid attention to some of his calls, but over the time being, but he made a shitload of money on Fuzz. He's made a shitload of money on a lot of tickers that he's brought up over the year and a half that he's been calling my show. And he's a guy you got to listen to. Yeah, he's a guy you got to listen to. TTNP is now, sitting at some levels here where it looks very interesting. It looks very, very interesting. And we're following it up here. Weekly chart. Here's the weekly. We'll see what it can do from here. We've got some stability showing here, and again, you started off with not the You don't have to put a lot of money into it. You can just put in a couple hundred, let it prove itself to you, and then see what happens over time. UCMJ, let's take a look at it. Oh, man. Let's take a look at it. It's okay. I mean, we haven't done much. I mean, you're gonna have to. I mean, I know we haven't done much. When you see this on the daily, you try to go to a weekly to see if there's been any movement, and it's just nothing, man. So obviously the float has got to be in the billions, probably even the trillions. I mean, I'm seeing here something happened this week, right? But I mean, I'd look for. I don't see it just yet, man. And I'm not seeing news supporting like where they cut shares or. Let me see here. A reverse split or something. It's way too much out there. But I look, there's money to be made on those too as well. I mean, we know there's money to be made on the triples as well. We've seen triples go into doubles here too. So I get what you're saying, Charlotte. I see, I understand where there's money that could be made there too. Let's take a look at sweat. Oh, look at that. You see what I'm saying? You just taking it out my mouth. I mean, going from those triples into something like that, right? This is where a shitload of money can be made too. Triples to doubles, as I just mentioned. All right, let me see. 001 to where are we at now? 0027. Boy, what a run. 0001. Yeah, that's 2,600%. From 0001 to 0027 is 2,600% on your money. But my problem is that, as you can see from the chart, in order to really get out of those triples, you need volume. You need guys who are going to come in and buy that stock. So you need the company to bring press, to bring, to show traders that there's some developments going on here. That's what you need. And guys will come in with 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000, and they're buying up, 15, 20, 30 million shares at a time. But the company's got to give them something. They got to give them something to stake that money on. It can't be just, hey, we're a 000 stock. 206, Mr. Lloyd, what's up, man?
Man, you know what? You got me a firm believer in penny stocks again.
Uh-oh.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Oh my gosh! Back in the day, I bought a bunch of sub penny stocks. It's so funny that you mentioned about this. I've been holding the bags for a long time, and you always said that people just wake up with money in their account.
Yeah.
So I had that happen with KDRH. This is back in last year where I bought at 3 cents, and I remember. Gosh, what is that guy's name?
What was that ticker, Mr. Lloyd?
KDRH.
KDRH. I don't see anything popping up.
Well, so what happened was it was a what do you call it? A shell company.
Okay.
It was a shell company that was bought out. However, I bought it at 3 cents, and it was a few guys in the Discord wrote it up to 5 or 6 cents, and I forgot to sell, and I was holding the bags, and then all of a sudden I woke up one day and it was at 40 cents, and so I ended up getting like $1,600.
Damn.
Now, I I just woke up again to another massive profit. I had 200,000 shares in INKW at trip 6, and I sold it for a penny, 1.1. I was trying to get 2 cents, but yeah. So INKW is the ticker. I just cashed out $2,100 out of a $120 bag. I set on for about a year and a half.
Okay.
So it is possible, man.
Yeah,
actually,
absolutely.
I want to do some more research on it, because I've always been hesitant to buy penny stocks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you always got to wait for the pump, and you got to read the news and do all the filings and make sure that you're not buying people who are working at the gas station.
I love those. I love that though. That's why, because I know when the market crashes, it's going to be pump time again, because guys are going to be they're going to be hungry. You know what I mean? That's so I can't wait now. Right now, everybody's making easy money. Blah blah blah. So the crash, that I can't wait to this all falls, because it's going to be pump time again, and guys like me get hot during recession.
Right, and I'll be honest with you, I did knock the penny stocks for a while, but the thing of it is you always have to be versatile, and especially because the market doesn't move the same way all the time. And so you need to go into a new neighborhood and learn to make the money there. I mean, it's just, you have to be versatile. And now if I'm playing futures right now, but if in the event that, I get some free time, I'll look at some trips and see what, put $120. What's $120? I mean, you're sitting on a bag, you got 1 million shares, and you wake up to $5,000 or $6,000. It was crazy. I woke up, I was like, it was so funny, man. I bought these shares off E-Trade, and I got an email from E-Trade. So let me log in and see what kind of bags I still got over there. And I logged in, and I saw $3,100 sitting there. I'm like, wait a minute, $3,100?
God damn.
So where the hell did this come from?
That's some good money just sitting there. You're like, whoa.
Right. So I woke up this morning. They're talking about I was going to go to. I actually let me give you. Remember CVSI?
Yeah.
CVSI.
Yeah, I mean,
man, I'm so
CVSI, bro. It's made somebody out there a couple 100,000, a couple 10,000s. I mean, CVSI, bro. Yes, I remember talking about CVSI. And we talked about this in the 30s. We talked about this. I mean, I started this show late 2016. Yeah, I mean, you go back to CVSI at those levels. I mean, I know we talked about this. I know we did.
So, right, and I bought into it, and I actually took a loss for it, and I mean, I was playing around with it at 25 cents, and I felt like I had promise, because the if you look at the filings on that, man, I mean, it was really a legitimate company. It's not too many of these penny companies are actually legitimate, and that shit just dropped up the.
Well, the books. No, because I looked back on it, because I put out on Twitter. I was like, look, anybody who made a couple 100,000, any CVSI millionaires out there, I want to talk to you, because I want to pick your brain and understand why you saw this as a buy and hold. But when you go back on OTC markets and you look at those 2016 filings, it was it had shitty books. I mean, the books were shitty, but
it was clean. Let me say, but here's the thing: you've seen some shitty filings, but it was still a lot cleaner than most.
Yes,
and I thought CVSI. I mean. But, in order to play penny stocks like this is what I wouldn't recommend new people to do this. I think you have to have a lot of capital to do this, because you're going to be sitting a long time. And if you don't got the patience to wait, you're going to be, it's like you're going to be missing the boat.
Mr. Lloyd, I don't think you have to have a lot of capital. I think even if you put small amounts, bro, I mean, if you've got $2,500, right? If you're using $125, $150 positions, I still think you're better off than a $500 option put on Facebook or something like that. If you don't know what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about beginner, beginner probabilities, right? I still think you're better off.
You're right. I mean, you're right, and it just requires a lot more research when it comes to penny stocks. I'm not So it is possible, you know, and you've always said, you know, you'll wake up to money. People just open up their bank accounts one day like, oh, $10,000. Okay, let me cash out. And that's exactly what I did this month. So, you know, I'm not leaving this money sitting right here. So, you know, I mean, everything, you know, you processize, man, is possible. I mean, it's real. So I don't care what people say, scam. You know, you just got to do your due diligence, and you will get burned. I mean, we all got burned, but you know, you learn what fire to go into and what fire not to go into.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, so I'm really focusing on getting into futures and working on some options where some options legs that where you can't lose. Okay. And so basically I'm trying to understand the Black-Scholes model but I still want to get back into these pennies, man, like we used to and look at the books like old times. So CVSI, and I don't know where INKW is going. I haven't looked at the books, man, but I just sold this morning. But I you know, I think they're potentially trying to jump on that Canadian bandwagon for the marijuana thing.
Yeah, I wrote it down. I got the ticket here. I'm going to look more into it.
Okay.
And see what we can learn about INKW. I see it's a very old ticker, so it was something we'll be looking into.
Cool, man. Well, everything good with you?
Everything is good, bro. I appreciate you, Mr. Lloyd, you know, coming back, checking up on me, dude. I really do.
Yeah, I'll be checking a little bit more often, man. Once I get moved up out of here, we'll definitely be hitting up a little bit more, man. But, you know, just got to take care of one thing at a time, man.
Absolutely.
So I really appreciate everything you've done for me, man.
Appreciate you, Mr. Lloyd. Thanks for the call.
All right,
man.
thanks, sir. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Mr. Lloyd. Shout out to Mr. Lloyd for the call. And, look, these OTCs, yeah, man, I still, you know, I'm just pure ROI, the potential for a guy who's starting out with 1,000 on the OTCs and 1,000 in puts. You know, if you get a lucky break, your ROI is just so much bigger when you talk about OTCs. It's just dealing with the bullshit that comes with trading OTCs. It's a lot of bullshit. A lot of bullshit. But, you know, it's just, if you love digging, if you love research, if you love reading financials, and we're not even talking like extensive, you're not going to see, you know, IBM, Apple financials where they're like 300 pages and it takes like a minute and a half to download their 10K. You're not going to see that. I mean, these are like 20-page 10Ks, you know, sometimes 5-page 10Ks. Sometimes it's a 2. I've seen 2-page 10Ks where it's just like, you know, basically the legal statement being the first page and then, you know, 10 lines being their financials, you know, because the company generates little or no income. That's fun. I like that. I like looking at companies that are worth $50,000, you know. Who brought up WDRP? What's going on with WDRP? Wonderport. Wonderport's another company that's been around for a long time, and I remember Wonderport from like 2014. I mean, this is an old Wonderport is an old OTC company. It's been around for a long. I mean, I'm pulling back the chart. This is like 96. This is 1990, 1988. Look at this. This is 1986. I mean, this is a company. I mean, obviously, there's been a ton of reverse splits and whatnot, but this is a company that's been trading for a long time. So let me know what's going on with Wonderport. It's been OTC for a long time. It's passed through a lot of hands, but nice day today with a 90% gain. With a 90% gain. All right, who brought that up? Abel Celestin Jr. Appreciate you, bro. I don't think you've ever called in, but I've recognized you as a viewer. What's going on, Money Bags? FRFS. FRFS was interesting because I was a hater on this company last year when they did. Yeah, I think no, when was that? They did something. Was it last year? Yeah, this was last year, right? October 2017. Yeah, I remember when he was doing it. I was kind of a hater on FRFS because some of the data was just real shady as hell or whatnot. But FRFS, 12% gain today. Who brought it up? Andrew Medina. Appreciate you, bro. Let's see where it goes. Hit me up with any new info on it. Hit me up with any new info on FRFS. What's going on, Dave Thomas? Yes, indeed. Shout out to Dave Thomas, option trader extraordinaire. Everybody press like on this video, man. Press like on this video. I don't know how many likes I have right now. I can't even tell. But press like on this video if you can. All right. Press like on this video if you can. HEMP at $1.40. Yeah, HEMP is another one, but I kind of fucked up on that. Hold on, HEMP, because I for a while I had staked my claim on MJNA, but shout out to HEMP. Yeah, this one's off and running. Hold on. Hold on. Is this the right one? That can't be. That's not the right one. Oh, I'm about to say that can't be the right one. Yeah, HEMP is 2 cents. Yeah, you were looking at the wrong one. It's 2 cents. MJNA, yeah, this is the one I had thought would be the bigger play, but they both haven't done shit, man. Here's MJNA and HEMP, OTC, HEMP. I mean, they both really haven't done shit. They both haven't done shit, but we'll see what happens in 2020. I mean, when we talk about MJ, I know not to get into a political conversation, but I mean, until the Democrats take over again, man, you're not going to see U.S.-based MJ move like that, man. Because at the end of the day, you know, the Repubs have put marijuana in the same bag as law enforcement, so it's just, you know, it's not gonna happen, man. It's just not gonna happen. But yeah, so what's got to happen is the conversation around MJNA, like somebody's talking about a farm bill. You know, if we can change the conversation to make marijuana as like, okay, let's get some of these farmers into it, but it's just I don't know, man. Yeah, Kush Bottles is the legit one, but man, I got into a back and forth with Kush Bottles CEO on Twitter because I felt like he was selling shares, man. He was selling shares. He was dumping, man. This was when was this? Yeah, I think it was this. Yeah, this was like this summer or something like that. We went from like 6 to 4, and I'm looking at some of the time and sales. And I'm seeing dumps of like 50,000 shares. I'm like, what the fuck? I know this isn't like a regular shareholder. This has got to be somebody with connections to the company, an insider or something. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? Cut that shit out. You know, so I'm a little sideways on Kush Bottles, although they're a legit player. I mean, they're the, you know, biggest in terms of bottling, packaging in regards to, you know, the marijuana space. Nobody comes close. And they've got, you know, incredibly deep pockets, and they're well connected to some legit sources of funds. But you know, their owner is you know, he's kind of a bitch, man. He's kind of a bitch. The U.S. legit play is MJNE. Okay. MJNE. Okay. Oh, shout out to MJNE. Shout out to MJNE.
Supreme victory.
You know, here's another one. This is a 400% gain. When was it at one? September 18th. That was not too long ago. September 18th, 109. Now today trading at $4.15. You know, at $4.15. And the volume isn't crazy on that one, so that tells you the float's pretty thin on that one. For the way that moved, that tells you the float's pretty thin on that one. Okay. Do I have any long-term plays, like hold something for 30 years? Man, I don't. Our economy moves too fast to do that. Our economy moves too fast to hold a stock that long. I think those days are over, man. When you're talking about holding plays for 30 years and, that kind of McDonald's, that Walmart, that, AT&T kind of play. I just don't see you doing that anymore. I just don't see that happening anymore. Facebook is hot now. In 5 years or 7 years, it might not be hot anymore. I don't know if there is a 30-year stock that you can hold anymore. Technologies like this, Unless I'm wrong, somebody in the chat room tell me. I just don't see it. I can't name a stock out there now. Amazon is on fire now, but 2 years, 3 years from now, we could have a president who wants to break the company up. Then what? 30 years down the road? Mr. Lloyd, you say you think, I don't think Amazon's not going to be here in 30 years. It could be here, but it's not going to be the same. I don't see Amazon. Not the way we see it now. I don't see it. I don't see it because they're already, if it wasn't for the fact that we got elections around the corner, Amazon would be, testifying right now in Washington because they are they're this close to, pushing some serious buttons out there, that they need to get taken down. He said start delivering weed drones. Yeah, man, but have you ever talked to somebody who works at Amazon, man? They I don't know, man. It's like, and I never want to compare anything to slavery because that's just a whole different level of things. But, every person that I've known that's worked from Amazon, it's only talked to like 2 people. They say, man, it's hell. Working for the company is like hell. You're on your feet. Your knees hurt. Every muscle in your body aches after you come home from work. They really do have people who live in the parking lots. They really do have people who come to work sick, who they work you so hard you have to urinate in a cup because they won't allow you to go to the lunchroom or to the bathroom. So they pull out a cup and they literally pull their dick out, bro, and piss in a cup because you're not allowed to go to the bathroom. Or because the bathroom is so far, right? Because the space they work in is so big that they're not going to be able to make it to the restroom and back. So they just pull it out right there and piss in the cup. JT the Bull Trader, you said you got fam that works for them. They work and run every hour all day. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Fuck all that talk about the machines. And, man, they got them working. Your ass is going to work if you work at Amazon. Your ass is going to work. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that shit. Michael Osborne, Google and YouTube, bro. Who's Michael Osborne? I don't get it. I think Bezos raised the minimum wage to $15. So what? If I'm paying you $15 an hour, but the work translates to really, $30 worth of physical punishment on your body per hour, you're still underpaid, man. You're still underpaid. If you're physically working harder than a construction worker right? You're working harder than the construction worker. Not even, and that's not, we're not even talking about, a guy with a real skill set, right? We're talking one of those guys that, has to hold the little sign, you know what I mean? That guy, he's the unskilled guy on the job. I don't know if they make $30 an hour, but I know it's better than minimum wage. Yeah, the work conditions are horrible. Work conditions are horrible. But yeah, $15 an hour don't mean shit if I'm putting $30 worth of damage on your body. A lot of warehouse contract workers are contract workers, so they don't even qualify for the raise. Damn. Yeah, that's what a lot of companies do. They get these little, contract workers from these bullshit companies like Manpower and Labor Ready. Now, I already told you about my Labor Ready job. After college, it was the summer. I couldn't get a job at the high school because I was substitute teaching. I would substitute teach on my in between, because you don't go to class every day. It's like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday type of thing. So the school was out, so I couldn't get a job at the high schools. I was living in Detroit, and there are no public swimming pools because I had a lifeguard license from way back when, and I couldn't do no fucking lifeguard. Motherfuckers in Detroit can't swim. So I ended up at this place called Labor Ready. I went into Labor Ready, and guy's like, yeah, if you show up here in the morning tomorrow, we'll get you a job. So I show up there in the morning. He's like, yeah, make sure you wear jeans and boots. So I get jeans and boots. I'm like, what the fuck? He just talk, yeah, just pick up something. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll pick up a few things. And I show up, and I'm the only black guy, and it's a whole shitload of Mexicans. And, this guy pulls up in the truck. He's like, come on, man. Come with us. I'm like, oh shit, where I'm going. You're going to hang with me today, man. So we go to this job site. And I'm like, what the fuck? How the fuck am I in fucking construction? I'm in a fucking construction. Just follow me, man. I teach you how to do everything, man. It's just, I know I'm fucking up on the accent, but it was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing right now, bro? I'm here for I wanted like a cushy office job, and I'm here fucking picking trash and bricks and shit. So I did it for a couple hours, and I don't know what happened, man. Something just clicked, and I was just like, man, he started just talking to me like real crazy. Not the Hispanic dude. The Hispanic dudes were cool. They were cool as fuck. The Hispanic dudes were cool as fuck. But one of the guys just started talking, just like real side out of his mouth or whatever. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go take a piss. And I hopped on the bus and left, man. I hopped on the bus and left. And I never went back. I never got paid for it. Nothing, bro. Nothing at all. I just fucking dipped out of that shit. I was like, man, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit, man. I didn't have it in me, bro. I didn't have it in me, bro. But yeah, I was in construction for, 6 hours? I was in construction for about 6 hours, man. I was in construction for about 6 hours. Yeah. And I think what really got to me was like, damn, I was like thinking, I was like, shit. God damn, like a year and a half before this, I was on a, aircraft carrier, on the top of the world, playing around with $15 million planes. And what the fuck am I doing here? Picking up bricks and shit. That's what got to me. That's where it really hit me. It was like, man, I'm not doing something right. That's what it really hit me. Bro, I used to sit on bombs, dude. You know, I used to sit on bombs. You know what I mean? And here I am, like, picking up bricks. Something ain't right. So I'm like, okay, let me get the fuck up out of here. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. And I was very close. I was very close to going back into the service as an officer. I was like, fuck it. I'll go back in as an officer and get cake, you know? But then I hate fucking PT. And I hated the fact that, you know, in the military, you can't save money for shit. I don't know what it is in the military. You cannot save no fucking money, dude. You can't save money for something is always going to fucking come up and take your fucking money. I don't know what it is. Let's go back to these tickets. But I don't know what it is, bro. Whether it's the SBX or whether it's fucking deployments, you know, whether it's just some like whore off base that you're fucking that's calling you because you need some money. It's just there's always a hand in your pocket, man. There's always a fucking hand in your pocket when you're in the military. You got companies trying to screw you, companies trying to take money out of your check before you even get paid. You know, like there's like, you know, like my first year I needed a car. I told you guys the story too. I needed a car. And there's just like these shady dealerships that are like, yeah, you don't need to put any money down. We'll just take money out of your check. And it just comes automatically, and you could just sign right here, bro. You can take the car now, man. So you're like, fuck it, man. I'm 18 years old. I just sign here. I just drive off. You know, next time you're thinking you're getting paid, next thing you know, you get a deposit of like $200. I'm like, what the fuck? What just happened? What the fuck just happened? And you look through your money and there, you know, you got this horrible fucking deal that you got signed into. I had to get a lawyer and all that shit, man. You know, to get me out of that scam. Oh, yeah, those cars were fucking horrible. Those cars are horrible, man. I had to get a lawyer and all that crap. Yeah, man, that's military life. You just, your first 4 years are really just a learning experience. It's just being out on your own and just fucking up your money, overpaying for everything. CZZ, I'm looking at the stock, bro, but I don't. Kozan Limited, you're gonna have to let me know what's going on here. Yeah, you say you used to sell cars at those buy here, pay here dealerships. Yeah, man, those are ripoffs. But then somebody got me on game with the dealership licenses. So now whenever I go buy a car, I'll just go, you know, to those dealership license websites where you can rent dealer's license, and I just pay the fee, and then I'll just go to a lot or to an auction and pick up what I want. And I just shop like the dealer shop, you know. So I don't fuck with dealerships anymore at all. I'll never, ever get a car note again. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. AXSM. Axum Therapeutics. Up 11%. I'm going to wrap up the show here in just a bit. What was that Chuck E. Cheese stock that was like Chuck E. Cheese with health food? Oh, yeah, and they signed Tia Mori, right? It was based out in Los Angeles. What was the name of that? God. No, they didn't sign Tia Mori. They signed... Yes, they did sign Tia Mori. Giggles and Hugs. There it is. GIGL. GIGL was the ticker. Thank you, Anthony Brown. Yeah, it was GIGL, Giggles and Hugs. And Giggles and Hugs announces new date and time for shareholder update conference call. It's actually a pretty good look right now, though. To think about it, but let's see. You might want to read the filings and see what kind of dilution's going on here, and see whether or not what's still out there in terms of paper, and if they're still selling shares to raise cash. But Giggles and Hugs is another one. And speaking of California based, and now I'm thinking I'm so GR, is it GRLT? What's grilled cheese truck? I don't think it's Grill It. Not Grill It. Grilled cheese. GRLD. GRLD. Man, we're pulling up some old ass tickers now. These are some old tickers. GRLD grilled cheese truck. I think they're still in business. You're gonna have to do some research on the grilled cheese truck. Another one. These guys wanted me to promote their stock. UPZS. UPZS is another one you might want to follow and see where they are with things. I'm pulling up old tickers. Now, these are some old-ass tickers off the top of my head. And UPZS they had a really decent following on Twitter. I don't know. UPZS. Unique Pizza. Are they still up there? Okay, it looks like they've changed some things. Jack Brewer for all their brands, even wearing. Yeah, so they're still in business, I guess. They're still in business. Mondays and Wednesdays. I know I said Fridays too, but man, I'm trying to do some things on Friday nights. So I don't want to overboard it. I don't want to burn myself out. Mondays and Wednesdays are good. I think Mondays and Wednesdays are cool. I think Mondays and Wednesdays are cool. It's just hard finding time during the day because I want to put out more content. It's just been hard because the market is moving so fast. There's a lot of money being made right now. I don't want to take my eyes off the game. Like today, I messed up. Should have been on Yeco. And, I was looking at Netflix, which, I mean, ain't some decent money there, but Yeco was the winner. Yeco was the overall, just a monster play. That was a monster play. Anybody could have got that. Anybody could have got. That's one of those anybody could win. Just again a decent moving average. Anybody can win in something like this. This is for one. This is for everyone. Those kind of plays. But I was just a big believer in the Netflix puts. Yeah, this looked like this is a Friday type of move right here. This is a Friday type of move. Callie Wright, you said miss those wild Fridays. Yeah. But I ain't trying to lose my channel again, man, because for like a day and a half, bro, I was logging in and everything was gone, man. I was like, shit. And you just think about all the time you put in, and it's like all gone. It's like, man, I'll never let that happen again. Discord room at $2. Discord room called that at $2 break on Yeco. You didn't trade it, DNF Bob. Yeah, it was a mover, man. Black Box called it pre-market 832. I got, I showed you guys. They called it at 832. Let me put it back on the screen for you. The alert went out, unusual buying alert. So the word was already out. The street already had the word. The street already had the word. The news went out. Guys were putting in their orders before the bell. They were putting in their orders before the bell. And then it's just a flood. After that, it's just a flood, man. And like I said, they just bought a stupid damn rock. It's a stupid rock, man. It's a rock. It's a rock. They'll send it around the world. They'll put it in expeditions, but it'll never generate the kind of income to continue to remain a publicly traded company. It just won't. It won't generate that kind of cash. So it makes it a perfect short for the long term. Canadian ACBFF, yeah, these are those Aurora Cannabis. These are all those plays that are, let me take off that moving average, that are all just going to, they should go higher as Canada, follows through with legalization and, create now a new business for their citizens, to be a part of, to create jobs. And that's something we should do. We used to do that here in America. We used to be where things that unfortunately couldn't be done anywhere else would be able to be done, But now we've got rules, regulations, and all that kind of thing that stifle productivity in business and, kill industries, Michael, I don't have a Discord. No, don't have a Discord. DIS. I think you brought up Disney before. I don't know what to think about Disney, man. Disney. What happened to that streaming platform Disney was supposed to come out with? Do you remember? Disney was supposed to come out with a streaming platform. Did they ever make that happen? I don't know if they ever made that happen or not. But I haven't seen it. But they were supposed to come out with a platform to compete with Netflix, and I haven't seen it. Yeah, I'm sure you can Google it. And there are articles from around, I don't know, just toward the end of last year, there was that kind of talk. But I never saw it happen. All right, that's GMD. So we'll wrap it up. Sugarmate. Sugarmate is another one. Sugarmate, this is a previous runner. This could very well run again. Sugarmate. Speaking of some of these old OTC stocks, what was the name of that Israeli pharmaceutical company? Somebody here, it was an Israeli-based marijuana play. Do you guys remember it? It was an Israeli-based marijuana play, and they were doing research on the medicinal side of marijuana, and it was one of those stocks that just kept going up and up and up and up. I know somebody here knows what the hell I'm talking about. I forgot what the name of it. OWCP. God damn, some of y'all are so fucking good, man. Shit. OWCP. That's exactly what I'm thinking about, man. That's exactly what I'm thinking about. Shout out to you, man.
Go! Get to the chopper!
Yeah, let me play that for you, bro. OWCP. I don't know. I'm sure the dilution is out on this one, but don't sleep on it, man. Put an alert on this sucker, man. Put a goddamn alert on this sucker right here, man. OWCP is sleep, but these things come alive like nothing before, man. Yeah, Mr. Lloyd. OWCP, shout out Get Right Diet. He said Disney got money on cryptos. I don't doubt it. You see how Bitcoin's got a floor now. You see that, right? And that's why those crypto stocks, too, got to be watched, too. You need to put yourself an alert on those as well, too. 5% move, 10% move alert, or whatever it is. Riot blockchain. Riot is another one. What else? BTCS, BTSC. The one that was the fund. I forgot what the fund was. GBTC, right? Yeah, there it goes. GBTC. And what else? Of course, MGTI. All right, MGTI, yes, is a piece of shit. They should be announcing bankruptcy soon here too. MGTI should be announcing bankruptcy too. But there are a couple of other OTC, publicly traded OTC Bitcoin plays. They're more than that. They're much more than that. Fidelity jumped into the Bitcoin game heavy, the crypto game heavy. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Look, the revolution will be televised, man. You know, these investment banks, the 1%, they know what they're doing, man. They know how to finesse the game to get you, oh, man, crypto's a scam, crypto, blah, 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 blah. And then one day, you'll wake up in the morning, and they'll say, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, our new national currency is the currency that has all the answers. Ladies and gentlemen, would like to let you know that you must translate all your money into Bitcoin right now. Oh, yeah.